What if I told you Lady Mary Crawley might be headed for another heartbreak, and this time, fans are actually hoping it happens? With rumors swirling about a 7th season of Downton Abbey dropping by the end of 2024, longtime viewers are already speculating about what juicy drama might be in store. And right at the top of that wish list, Mary finally cutting ties with Henry Talbot. Let's be honest, their romance never quite sparked the way it should have. Actor Matthew Crawley, who plays Henry, has been noticeably absent, especially in a new era. Between his packed filming schedule and the lukewarm chemistry between him and Michelle Dockery, fans are wondering if it's time for Lady Mary to go solo again, or at least find someone who doesn't feel like a consolation prize. Imagine the Crawleys wrapped up in a full-blown divorce scandal. It would rock the house and give Mary a fresh storyline that actually challenges her. After all, her romantic history is filled with drama, scandal, and heartbreak, and we followed her through it all. Back in Season 1, things kicked off with the tragic news of Mary's fiancé Patrick dying on the Titanic. It wasn't just a personal loss. It threw the future of the estate into chaos. But Mary wasn't crushed by grief. Instead, she was calculating, aware of what this loss meant for her future, and not afraid to show it. That was our first glimpse at the steel beneath her elegance. Then came Kemal Pamuk. The Turkish diplomat's visit turned into one of the most shocking plot twists of the entire series. Mary, drawn to him despite her better judgment, let herself be vulnerable, only for him to suddenly die in her bed. The aftermath? Pure scandal. With the help of Anna and Cora, they moved the body, buried the secret, and branded Mary with a reputation that would follow her for years. But things began to shift when Matthew Crawley arrived. At first, their connection felt more strategic than romantic, a convenient solution to the inheritance crisis. But slowly, it grew into something real. By the end of Season 1, Matthew proposed. Yet Mary hesitated, haunted by her past with Pamuk. She wanted to be honest with Matthew, to start clean. But secrets have consequences. Their engagement unraveled. And when Cora's surprise pregnancy added another heir to the mix, the whole situation imploded. World War I soon followed, sending Matthew off to fight. And when he returned, it was with a new fiancée, Lavinia Swire. Still, it was obvious Mary hadn't moved on. Neither had he. Despite everything, their bond kept pulling them back to each other. Even after Matthew was paralyzed, Mary stayed close. Lavinia's devotion only made Mary's feelings clearer. But once Lavinia died, guilt consumed Matthew. He pushed Mary away, believing he didn't deserve happiness. And just like that, Mary's hopes were dashed again. Meanwhile, Mary broke off her engagement with newspaper tycoon Richard Carlisle, a man who offered security, but not love. Her strength in ending that relationship showed just how much she had grown. Eventually, Mary and Matthew found their way back. Their wedding, set during the Christmas special, felt like a true fairy tale moment. At last, happiness. They had a son, George, and it seemed like Mary's story had reached its emotional peak. But this is Downton Abbey. Happy endings don't last forever. Matthew's sudden death in a car crash right after George's birth hit like a freight train. The show pulled the rug out from under us. Again. And Mary was left a widow, a mother, and a woman on the edge of despair. Season 4 opened with Mary deep in mourning. She barely spoke. She wore black every day. Her spark was gone. But slowly, with encouragement from Carson, Tom, and her family, she began to find her footing. And then came the suitors. Lord Gillingham, Charles Blake, Evelyn Napier. Each brought something different to the table. But Charles Blake stood out. Smart, witty, grounded. He challenged Mary in all the right ways. He saw past the title. Fans rallied behind him. But as always, the show had other plans. Then came Henry Talbot, a race car driver with a tragic past and a charming grin. But from the start, something felt off. Mary hesitated. Not because of him exactly, but because of the fear of history repeating itself. Matthew had died in a car crash. How could she love someone who lived for racing? Tom, ever the romantic, pushed hard for the match. He seemed convinced that Henry was Mary's perfect match. But for many fans, it felt forced. Their chemistry never really caught fire. Even their courtship felt more like obligation than romance. And here's the kicker. Matthew Good barely showed up in a new era. And when he did, it felt like a cameo. Blink and you'd miss him. Their relationship, which was supposed to be blossoming, felt more like an afterthought. Fans online have been vocal about it too. Many compare Good's role to his character in The Good Wife, another guy who swooped in after the main love interest died, only to leave audiences underwhelmed. Same vibes here. And don't even get me started on Tom. He did the same thing with Sybil. Remember when Sybil told him she wasn't even sure if she liked him? And Tom just pushed ahead like he already had her heart? It's like he refuses to take maybe not as an answer. Why is it always the women who are pressured to move on? No one forced Tom to remarry after Sybil died. But Mary? She gets 2 seasons of mourning before people start matchmaking like she's expired milk. So, here we are, with whispers of season 7 on the horizon. And maybe, just maybe, Mary finally decides to walk away from Henry. Not in bitterness, but with clarity. Because sometimes the strongest choice is choosing yourself. What do you think? Should Mary finally break free from the forced fairy tale? Was Charles Blake the better match all along? Or is she better off forging her own path, no man required? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip down Downton's most dramatic corridors, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more deep dives into the drama. Until next time, keep the tea hot and the scandals even hotter.